Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to Trepacer's Saturday Reviews. And as promised, I went to see Ted 2. Again, I apologize for this vlog getting up, or this my Saturday reviews getting up late because I literally fell asleep in my chair again when I wanted to record the video. So, me waking up a few hours later. Okay, so but I wanted to get this review up. As promised, I did go see Ted 2. I don't know if you can see that. Ted 2. There we go. And since this is a Seth MacFarlane film, I also decided to see another Seth MacFarlane film when I got home. And this is A Million Ways to Die in the West. Also literally starring Seth MacFarlane. So that. Okay, now. Let's talk about Ted 2 first. Of course, this is a sequel to Ted, the movie about the little boy named John, played by Mark Wahlberg, who was given a teddy bear, as a kid, and he wished it would come to life and be his best friend, and it literally did. And they hung out and did everything together, and got high, got drunk, and hung out together until the point where John, literally, his girlfriend, wanted more out of their relationship and wanted him to cut out hanging out with Ted so much and to commit. Okay, and now this sequel takes place a few years later. Ted is getting married to Tammy Lynn, his girlfriend from the first movie. And of course, they get married and they're going through their issues. And of course, they decide to have a baby to make things better. And of course, that's to the point where they find out that the state of Massachusetts doesn't consider Ted to be a real person because he's literally a teddy bear come to life. So what he does is he hires a lawyer. He goes to a lawyer to see what they can do about having him declared a real person. Okay, and they hire a lawyer named Samantha L. Jackson, that you see in the trailer, played by Amanda Seyfried. And also at the same time, you also have John's issues with him. Of course, Mila Kunis' character is not in this movie, and they say basically that he got a divorce from her, and he's having a rough time, getting back out there. Okay, and that's the movie. That's the basic premise of the movie. Ted basically trying to prove himself to be a real person, and of course, John having his issues of trying to get back out there. And this movie, Ted 2 is funny. I have to give it that, but it's not as funny as the original. There's just something about the original, that whole premise of the teddy bear coming to life and literally being your best friend and stuff that just was so original and funny. Okay, this sequel it's funny and it has its moments, but it's not as funny as the original. It's definitely, though, worth going to see. And if you like Seth MacFarlane's humor, you're gonna crack up, and I cracked up. I love his humor, and I cracked up at various points in this movie. Ted 2 was funny. Okay, again, not as funny as the original. You also have a good supporting cast in this as well. You have Morgan Freeman in this. You have Dennis Haysbert. You have Sam Jones in this movie, and also you have who was the other guy? Oh yeah, there's a famous cameo by a famous action star, which I don't want to spoil, but his cameo is hilarious. Okay, and Ted 2 is funny and it has its moments. Not as funny as the original, though. I think it's not below the original, but it's still funny. And Seth MacFarlane still has that great. Yeah, his humor is hilarious. Okay, and he also, I think Seth MacFarlane loves old Hollywood movies too, because Ted 2 has a great opening dance scene, and I think Seth MacFarlane really literally loves. If you've seen Family Guy, with that opening is literally Ted 2's opening, in a way, if you think about it. Okay. But definitely a funny movie, and like I said, Amanda Seyfried I thought was okay. Her part is not as, her character is a newbie lawyer, of course, and of course she's also a stoner, which is convenient for the plot, but you go with it, and she was okay. She was decent. I thought her and Mark Wahlberg had a decent chemistry in the movie and stuff. But again, Seth MacFarlane was hilarious as Ted, as usual, and he made the movie for me. Okay, so I'm gonna give Ted 2 a 7 out of 10. Okay, like I said, I think it's a notch below the first movie. Okay, not as funny as the first movie, but it still had its moments and still entertaining and totally worth seeing. Okay, now the next movie is A Million Ways to Die in the West. Now I heard really bad things about Ted 2, literally. Not Ted 2, I mean A Million Ways to Die in the West. This movie basically stars Seth MacFarlane. He's plays Albert, a sheep farmer, whose girlfriend, played by Amanda Seyfried, he basically loses his girlfriend. Literally, she breaks up with him because he gets called out in a gunfight in the beginning of the movie, and he kind of weasels his way out of it. And she kind of breaks up with him. Amanda Seyfried's character in this movie. He's also in this movie. This movie also stars Seth MacFarlane, Liam Neeson, and Charlize Theron in this movie. Also, you have Giovanni Ribisi and what's her name? Sarah Silverman. Okay, Giovanni Ribisi plays his best friend in this movie, and it's it's basically about the West, and he basically many ways to die in the West. And Seth MacFarlane literally tells you in the beginning of the movie about all the bad things that can happen to you in the West. Now, into the story comes after he breaks up with his girlfriend, of course, and he loses her to Neil Patrick Harris's character, who's a guy who I think he runs a mustache store, literally a mustache and all the fit things you can do to a mustache. He literally owns that store, and of course he loses his girlfriend to her. She becomes Amanda Seyfried's character becomes his girlfriend, and of course he's depressed about that, Albert, and he wants to get her back. And into that story comes Charlize Theron's character, and she's absolutely beautiful, and she comes into the story because she gets introduced. She comes into the town basically, and kind of befriends Albert, Seth MacFarlane's character, and hangs out with him and teaches him how to shoot and stuff, and she kind of helps him, because he's trying to get his girlfriend back, Amanda Seyfried's character, and he's kind of she's going along with his plan to make her jealous, by hanging out with a beautiful woman and stuff, and they start to hang out with each other and have a good time with each other. Now Giovanni Ribisi, he plays Seth MacFarlane's or Albert's best friend in the movie, and Sarah Silverman's his girlfriend, who's a whore, who literally has sex with everybody else except him. Now, A Million Ways to Die in the West, I say that a lot of the humor in this is really, really bad and really misses a lot. I mean, now I know a lot of people had a problem with Seth MacFarlane himself. I just think, Seth MacFarlane's not the best actor, but the problem with this movie is not his acting. It's literally the jokes in the movie. The jokes in the movie are really, really bad and really sophomore. A lot of toilet humor in this movie. Now, you say that's Seth MacFarlane's style, but you can tell the difference if you watch, like I said, Ted 2, which has its share of gross humor, but in A Million Ways to Die in the West, it's a lot more grosser, literally, in this movie than in the Ted movies. It's just the humor in this is really bottom barrel and just not funny. Okay, and the best thing about this movie to me is Charlize Theron. She has a nice likability to her, and she does have nice chemistry with Seth MacFarlane, and I like her character. Her character really makes the movie, and the movie really picks up when her character comes on the scene. She's that good, and Charlize Theron is just, she really made the movie for me. And I liked Giovanni Ribisi. He's just a great great sidekick to Albert's character. He's just a real, he's just a real church-going guy and real timid. And of course, his girlfriend's a whore. And a lot of their humor was really gross. Specifically, there's a scene in the bar which involves a certain body function, which is just really gross for being gross sake. But like I said, the movie's just a lot of bits that are just not funny. Like I said, Liam Neeson plays a bad guy. He's pretty good as a bad guy. And Liam Neeson could probably play a decent bad guy in any regular straight drama, because he's good, but he's used to playing actions and good guys. But he can play a bad guy no problem. If you watch the movie, you'll see he's really good as a bad guy. Okay, but again, Charlize Theron is the best thing about this movie. And like I said, I know a lot of people had a problem with Seth MacFarlane being the star of his own movie. But like I said, his performance is not the best, but he's not what kills this movie. It's just the humor in this movie is just not funny. A lot of the humor in it is not funny. Sure, there's moments when you laugh and stuff, but the humor is just really, really bottom barrel and really gross. Although I do have to say, I literally laughed at the part with Neil Patrick Harris All I'm going to say is Neil Patrick Harris and a hat. Let's put it that way. Or two hats specifically. Okay? And Neil Patrick Harris and two hats. That scene is hysterical. That had me, I literally got up out of my chair and laughed. That's how funny I found that scene, without going into too much detail about it. But anyway, A Million Ways to Die in the West, just like I said, it's just really gross humor. And like I said, the best part of this movie, literally, is Charlize Theron, who's just really, really fun. You know, she's just like a breath of fresh air in this movie. Her character, okay, and you kind of root for her, and you're just happy when she's on screen. She's just this totally cool chick, and his character Albert literally becomes that much better when she's around. Okay, and it's just she makes the movie. Like I said, you get the comedy bits from Giovanni Ribisi and Sarah Silverman, and a lot of that humor is kind of gross, but they give a little good support. As the best friend of Albert, but a lot of the humor, like I said, is really bottom barrel and really a miss in this movie, and literally had you cringing at certain parts of the movie, just going, "Oh, this is really not funny." Okay, so I'm gonna give A Million Ways to Die in the West. Okay, and mostly because of Charlize Theron. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 5.8. Okay, I get a 5.8. Okay, I was trying to give it a 6, but it just doesn't equal a 6. Okay, and the reason it got as high as it did to me, 5.8, is because of Charlize Theron. Her character makes the movie, literally. She's just a cool chick in this movie. She is. She makes this movie for me, and definitely for no other reason. See the movie because of her. Okay, she makes the movie, literally. Okay, so a 5.8 for A Million Ways to Die in the West. I wouldn't recommend you buying it like I did. Rent it. Okay, and literally Ted 2 is worth going to see. It's not as funny as the original, but it's still here. And the humor in this movie, Ted 2, is a lot more. I know it's weird to say more highbrow than A Million Ways to Die in the West, but it literally is. It's not as gross and bottom barrel as A Million Ways to Die in the West, but it's still worth seeing. If you're a big fan of the original, it is worth seeing. So Ted 2, again, I give it a 7 out of 10. Okay. Anyway, let me know what you think of those two movies. Feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trepacer saying so long and take care.